Hello, Grand Rising, good morning. The sun shines as we do. My name is Deja, also known as Down Doula Day, and I'm here to talk about some shit. um, First and foremost, I am very unprofessional. I don't like talking to people. I like to talk with people. I like to communicate with people, come to a common ground. I don't ever want somebody to feel like I'm talking over them. So, this whole Roe versus Wade situation. I hate to say that we've created this problem, but we have created this problem to where abortions are necessary, because we don't teach our men to keep them in a way of incest and rape and sexual assault. We don't teach our people to keep their hands to themselves, and that their sexual attraction needs to be discussed or needs to be given the okay to happen. We don't teach rejection to our boys, so that way whenever they do get rejected they don't feel less than. Same for women. um, but we've brought this issue on ourselves where we have common sex with uncommon people. We have sex with people who we don't want kids with, or we've allowed whoever to have fun with our children, and now you don't want that half-breed baby in your family, so you make your daughter get an abortion. There's so many different circumstances to this, and there shouldn't be anything situational about it. For me, abortion is not for me. If it was for me, I wouldn't have kids. But who's to say it's not for somebody else? I have no place to place that judgment on somebody or place that issue on somebody. That's not my space. That's not my place to push that on. I'm not acting as God. I'm acting of God, if that makes sense. That means you need to walk in the light of God. You need to walk in the light of your higher power. And you can say I'm pro-life or whatever. I'm pro-woman. Okay, I'm pro-choice. I feel like in certain circumstances, we don't see it as abortion, but it is abortion. Whenever you have an ectopic pregnancy, that is considered abortion because you have to abort the pregnancy to save the mother. And just because we are saving the babies from not being aborted, are we saving them from a lifelong of, hurt, pain, violence, sexual assault? Just because a baby is born does not mean that it's saved. Because if you think about it, how many kids do we have in foster care? How many kids do we have, just out on the streets? How many homeless people do we have in this world? In America specifically, like in Albuquerque, there's a homeless person like every corner of Albuquerque. No lie. And it's sad. But we've created this issue to where abortions are necessary. Excuse my air quotes, but we've created this issue because we no longer value our bodies enough to hold it off to marriage. Me being that person. We no longer teach our boys, hey, you are a husband. You are supposed to be a father. We don't teach our girls to, say no and respectively say no and be heard whenever they say no. It's always, well, you put yourself in that position and you brought it on yourself, so now you must deal with it. No. As a woman who does not get child support, who barely gets help from the other parent, I am a sole believer. Like, okay, if you do not want kids, as a male, if you do not want kids, get a vasectomy. It's reversible. Save us all the trouble, honestly. That way you can nut as freely as you want. Because in all reality, that's what it is. Yes, as a woman, we hold the baby, we get pregnant, but no one wants to talk about how you have to have a male to get pregnant. We don't get pregnant on our own. So why do we have to take care of this child for 18 years by ourselves? No. Hold that man accountable. Lock him up if he's not willing to pay for his child. Okay? You don't want to pay for these 18 years of life? Put your 18 years of life into a jail cell. I bet you it'll change their mind. Women, teach your sons, hey, you created that child. Now you must help create a life for that child. No, you don't have to stay with the mother, but you do need to stay with that child, because that is child abandonment. And guess what? As a mother, I would be put into a jail cell if I was to leave my child for somebody else to take care of, unknowingly. Yes, adoption is available, but again, we have so many kids in foster care that are not being cared for as we speak. Kids are going to start being dropped off at fire stations, police stations, all kinds of crap. It's about to get crazy. So let's reel it back. Can we make sure that we have enough daycare services out there, and make sure that daycares aren't charging $365 for one child a week, because daycare is expensive. It's very expensive. And I understand you have to make your money, but at the same time, let's make it available. If the single mother is going to have to take care of this child, okay, you get services, you get health care, you get help. You get a bare minimum of money a month to take care of this child. And if you have to monitor the money, by all means, monitor the money. Don't give a fuck. But we need more funding out here for these women. If we're going to have these babies, we need more funding for the babies once they come out. Because just because we save a baby from being aborted in the womb does not mean that we're saving the baby from being aborted in life. Okay? Let me reel it back a little bit. Yes, we need funding for daycare. We need funding. We shouldn't have to pay for to feed our babies. If we're not going to be able to abort these babies, if we can't afford it, most times whenever somebody's getting an abortion, it's because they can't afford it. Because they see the situation and don't want to put the baby into that situation. Not as many people are going to be as lucky as I was. I had family to help me take care of my kids. If it wasn't for my family, we'd be out on the streets. We'd be homeless. I'd probably be a drug addict. In all reality, it's about to get crazy. And the Roe versus Wade is just a lot more than it starts with abortion, but it also goes with contraceptive. It also goes with, the privacy in the bedroom. There's a lot that goes in behind it. Same-sex marriages. So like all this is about to start being attacked, but we've created this issue to the point of where we place our own judgment on somebody else and then we make a law about it. It's not our job to act as God. It is our job to walk in the light of God and live a life of a God. We are made in the image of God, so why not be gods and goddesses? Not act as one and make decisions for everybody as one, but to spread love, teach love, and be love. Because that is what religion is. Is it a devoted love to something higher? So, let's get more funding out there. If we're not going to hold the men accountable, okay, at the age of so-and-so, men need to decide, do you want kids in the next 5 years? Nope, snip it. Because putting me on birth control because I can only have a baby once a year versus you having a baby each day out of the year, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't feel like I should have to control my hormones, my multiple hormones that can cause depression, anxiety, all kinds of other mental illnesses, when you could just snip it and it caused no issue for you. And if you want kids later on, stitch that bad boy back together. Reconnect that bitch. Excuse my language. But reconnect it. Like, there's so many things to prevent these things. It's about prevention. And to prevent all of these issues, it starts with at home. Let's teach our kids about sex, about the STDs in the world. Let's teach our kids about love. Let's show them love in our relationships, because a lot of our relationships now are based on, oh, I married you because I got pregnant, and now our kids are seeing that this is what love is. No. Just because I get pregnant by you and we have a child does not mean we need to be together, but, because that's already a sin in itself, but to fight in that marriage and to stay in that marriage for the kids is also another sin. Teaching false love is a sin. And if we're really going to base it off of, oh, you're going to hell, we're all going to hell, baby. If that's the case, We're using science like no other. The science we use today is sin. Salt is sin. Like, there's a lot of things that we don't realize is sin because we base our moral compass off of a situation versus like it being ethical, you know? But we just need to take care of ourselves. Ladies, let's learn our cycles. When are you ovulating? When are you not? When is your period supposed to come? Keep up with that shit. Whether you get a planner and mark that bad boy down, get you some stickers, have fun with it. You get a calendar, you put it on your phone. I have an app and I use it faithfully. And I've been using it for years. That's how I have not had kids. Is preparation, is prevention, knowing whenever I'm fertile. Knowing like, hey, I'm fertile, I'm not gonna mess with nobody. And also celibacy, it's not hard, y'all. It's really not. Most of my time that I didn't have kids, I was celibate. I didn't mess with nobody. It didn't take me long to get pregnant. I'm fertile as hell. I am fertile. Very fertile. But it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. And as a man, you only do one thing, and that's ejaculate. No offense. I mean that as nicely as possible. But you know, if you are a quick pumper, hey, wear a condom. Also, get a vasectomy. Don't have sex. Save yourself. And if you can last for days, guess what? Pre-cum is more potent than actual sperm. You don't actually have to come in somebody for them to get pregnant. Yeah, true stuff. Really true. So men, wrap your willy, don't be silly. If you don't want a baby by this girl, don't put your dick in her. I hate to be so vulgar, but yeah, treat it like that. If you don't want to take her home to mom, don't take her home to sex. Women, same thing. Yeah, we choose I didn't choose my baby daddies. Did I know that I was going to get pregnant that fast?